Hey everyone! In case you haven't heard yet, there's been a rumor floating around of a new game in the Donkey Kong series. This game is apparently being developed by Nintendo EPD, who also developed games such as Mario Odyssey and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And as a person who loves predicting, I took this opportunity to make a video discussing what this next Donkey Kong game could potentially be. So without further ado, let's start predicting. We're gonna start simple, and the first thing that we'll be predicting is the dimension of the game. This is deciding whether it would be 2.5D like the previous Donkey Kong Country games, or return to 3D from Donkey Kong 64. Since the supposed developing team of this game have been mostly making 3D games, I believe this one will be no exception. A 3D game would make a much bigger impact, as well as being much more original from the other games. It's been a while since Donkey Kong was in 3D, and I think it's likely that he will return soon. This next part is a pretty crucial element to the Donkey Kong games, which is the story. After some time thinking, I came up with a unique idea. Take a look at this. The game starts off with the DK Krew on his island, basically having the time of their lives. Suddenly, the scene would change to King K. Rool in his office, with many Kremlings nearby. He points to an image on the wall, which shows a large stash of bananas hidden inside Donkey Kong Island. Being the greedy crocodile that he is, King K. Rool orders his crew to set sail for this treasure. The scene changes again, this time to the Snowmads from Tropical Freeze. They have heard of this treasure too, and are planning to take some from themselves. The scene changes one last time, to a brand new group of villains, called the Bad Bugs. These are a bunch of insects, which combine previous enemies with some brand new ones. They have also heard of this supposed treasure and are eager to find it. After a fun day, Donkey Kong decides to go to his home and rest. He closes his door and gets into bed. However, he hears a loud horn from the outside. When he looks out of the window, he is met with 3 huge ships surrounding the island. The leaders of each villain group walk out, with many guards behind. The rest of the DK Krew looks out of the window, terrified at the sight they are currently seeing. Another horn goes off, and in the blink of an eye, the DK Krew is getting captured. Diddy has been taken by the Kremlings, Dixie by the Snowmads, and Cranky by the Bad Bugs. Even the other Kongs such as Funky, Tiny, and Candy have been captured. It's only Donkey Kong left, who is completely surrounded. But before he can turn around, King K. Rool delivers a massive punch, which sends him flying. When Donkey Kong wakes up, he realizes that he isn't where he was before. Instead, he is smack in the middle of a large, overgrown jungle. The only thing near him is a broken plane, which had a Donkey Kong-sized hole through it. And this is where the adventure begins to rescue his crew. After getting the story out of the way, we need to tackle another core element of the Donkey Kong series, which is the gameplay. As previously mentioned, DK wakes up next to a plane. This plane has a gauge on it, which needs 10 Donkey Kong letters for it to fly. These letters are all around the island, and require unique and creative platforming challenges and boss battles. Each island will also have a total of 10 puzzle pieces. Unlike the Donkey Kong letters, these will be much more hidden, but would not require as much platforming. They are not mandatory and would only be collected to receive rewards such as music, images from development, and dioramas. Some puzzle pieces can be found in various banana temples scattered around the island as well. These will act similar to the temples in previous games, where you collect all the bananas in a given time in order to receive a puzzle piece. But since the game is in 3D, Donkey Kong can run and jump in all directions to get them. After getting all of the Donkey Kong letters, you can travel using the plane. However, moving on to the next world is not as simple as you may think. Donkey Kong would have to avoid various air troops on a mini level. This will be similar to the rocket levels in the other games, but you will move left and right instead of up and down. The levels will begin to get more challenging after each world. This next gameplay element is one that I think desperately needs a return, which are the animal buddies. There will be different types of animals in each world, and they will all have a unique ability. Using them can help access Kong letters, puzzle pieces, or to help defeat a boss. You would be able to ride on the animal by breaking a crate, which are scattered across the areas. The final important gameplay element I'll talk about are the controls. They would be pretty simple, and Donkey Kong would be able to run, jump, and roll. He would also be able to pick up barrels as well as push objects. The animal buddies would each give him a special move, which would replace the roll button. Besides that, there isn't much more to say besides map and menu buttons. I wanted to keep the controls as straightforward as possible. Now we're going to talk about the worlds, which I decided to make 11 in total. These would be roughly twice the size of Odyssey Kingdoms. I'll go over each world separately, as I have a lot to say about them. The first world in the game would be called Jungle Hijinks. This would be a reference to the previous Donkey Kong Country games, which used the same name. Jungle Hijinks would be a vast open jungle with stone towers in the middle. There would be beaches along the coast, and many recognizable enemies scattered around from each of the 3 crews. The animal buddy in this world would be Rambi the Rhino. He is the most iconic buddy in the series, and would have his signature charge attack to go along with him. The final boss would be Naughty from Donkey Kong Country 2. You would have to charge into his belly and bounce on his head to deal a hit. However, he will be bouncing around the entire time, and you will take a hit if he lands on you. The second world will be called Alpine Cliff. It would be similar to the second world of Tropical Freeze, but with much more to explore as it's in 3D. You would be able to look around the village, enter dark caves, as well as climb the tall mountain. The animal in this world would be Squawks the Parrot. He'll be used to guide you through the dark caves and to the boss, which would be the Viking Owl from Tropical Freeze. In order to defeat him, you'll have to throw back his eggs right into his face. The next world will be Bitter Bluffs, a winter-themed area. It would have many unique structures and challenges that involve ice physics to complete. The animal buddy would be Winky the Frog, which may seem a bit obscure at first. However, I think his jumping ability would help a lot in this world, and he could possibly not be affected by the ice. The boss would be a snow leopard, and he would pounce around and fling snowballs at you. In order to defeat him, you would need to roll into him. The fourth world is a really cool one, which is Cranky Carnival. This would be an open world theme park for you to go around. Riding on the roller coasters may even help you get a letter or two. The animal buddy in this world will be Rattly the Rattlesnake. He would be able to jump very high in order to access secret areas. The boss in this world is a seal, and he would perform tricks while trying to slide into you. You would need to bounce on his back in order to defeat him. The next world would be called Sunset Savannah. It is a large desert area that has many canyons, baobab trees, and huts. The animal buddy would be Espresso the Ostrich, and he would make flying across canyons much easier. The boss would be a large lion, which is trying to eat you up. You would need to fly onto his back from a tall pillar in order to deal a hit. We're on to our sixth world, and this one is called Coral Coast. It is home to many islands scattered around a large area, with water in between. The animal buddy is Enguarde the Swordfish, and he would act almost like Plessy in Bowser's Fury. Riding on him would make moving from island to island much easier, and he would even have a dash attack along with him. The final boss is a large octopus who would throw his tentacles at you. To defeat him, you need to climb up his tentacle when he is tired and bounce on his head. The seventh world will be a spooky area called Sinister Steps. There will be a giant haunted house in the middle, with a graveyard and many trees in a flat plain. The animal buddy would be Squitter the Spider. This pick is a no-brainer, as a spider who shoots webs would perfectly fit with the environment I'm going for. The boss would be a giant beetle larva, which flings its shell at you until it hatches out. When in beetle form, you would have to catch him in a web 3 times to win. We're nearing the end, and the 8th world is called Menacing Manufactories, a giant factory filled to the brim with gizmos. The animal buddy is Ellie the Elephant. She has the ability to spray water with her trunk, which can help solve puzzles and contraptions. However, Ellie is afraid of mice, and there are a lot in this factory. The final boss is the infamously unfair chicken robot from Returns. I promise that he'll be easier in this game, as his random charges would be much more avoidable in 3D. You need to spray water at his robot in order to electrocute him and win. Yes, I know it sounds violent, but he deserves it after his appearance as a boss last time. The second to last level would be Blazing Badlands. This would be filled with lava and burning trees. There will be a volcano in the center, where you can enter and fight the boss. The animal buddy would be Clapper the Seal. Bouncing on his head would change the entire map from lava to water for a short period of time. This would open a massive amount of challenges and secrets. The final boss would be a Flaming Phoenix. You have to bounce on Clapper to stop the fire, then bounce on the bird's head to succeed. The final main level in this game is DK Fort. This was once Donkey Kong Island, but has been transformed into a security base by the three main enemy groups. Think Hyrule Castle from Breath of the Wild, but in Donkey Kong instead. This level is much more straightforward than the rest, where you have to move to the top of the island in a specific order. All the animal buddies are on this island, and will be used for each challenge. There are 3 bosses in this world. The first is Emperor Zing, who's the leader of the Badbug tribe. The second is Lord Frederick, the leader of the Snowmads. And the final boss is the original enemy of Donkey Kong, who is none other than King K. Rool. Defeating these 3 means you beat the game, but there is still more for people who want to 100% it. To unlock the final world, you will need to collect all puzzle pieces and Kong letters. Once you achieve this, you will unlock the Golden Banana Temple. This is a very challenging area that will test your skills at the game. There are no animal buddies or boss battles, just tricky platforming and puzzles. When you beat the level, you have officially 100% completed the game. You've probably noticed that this game I created doesn't have a title name to call its own yet. That's because I wanted to give you all the information before deciding on one. I had a lot of name ideas, but eventually narrowed it down to the one I thought was best. Since the game's premise is to save the Krew, I thought the name Donkey Kong Country Kaptured Krew would fit best. The words Kaptured and Krew would be spelled with a K, to make it fit the DK theme better, as well as being more cool. But that just about wraps up today's video. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited for E3 2021. Maybe they'll even show a new Donkey Kong Country game. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.